All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sean Patel. I am the founder of 2400 Expert, and I do want to talk to you a little bit about our new SAT prep course in Los Angeles. And so, just a little bit of introduction on myself. When I was in high school, I raised my own SAT score from average to perfect. I went on to write #1 best-selling books for both the SAT and ACT. And I also started 2400 Expert to help students raise their own scores. We've had a lot of success. Thousands of our students have attended Ivy League universities, won millions in college scholarships, and some have even gotten perfect SAT scores themselves. In addition to being the founder of 2400 Expert, I'm also an MD/MBA student at both USC and Yale. So I've spent a lot of time in Los Angeles doing both my undergrad and my med school at USC. Now, to start off, first I'm going to answer the question that is probably most frequently asked by parents calling into 2400 Expert, which is, when should my child start studying for the SAT? The answer to this question is as soon as possible. A lot of people wait until spring of their junior year or even fall of their senior year to start studying for the SAT. But I often think that it may not be too late, but it's often a very busy time, right? Spring of your junior year is full of finals and AP exams, and then fall of your senior year is full of college admissions applications. So trying to squeeze in SAT prep during those very busy times is often very difficult for a lot of students. So what I've noticed is students that start their SAT preparation journey as a freshman or sophomore, I personally started as a sophomore, end up getting the highest SAT scores. They end up qualifying for national merit through the PSAT. They end up going to the best Ivy League universities. They get the most scholarships. They just do all around the best if you start earlier. So the earlier you can start, the better. Now, in terms of the location of our Los Angeles SAT prep class, we have a beautiful location in Beverly Hills, and I'm really, really excited about the launch there. In terms of the thing that you guys want to think about related to sort of the younger students watching this video or the parents of younger students watching this video is the California new PSAT cutoff score. So the PSAT can only be taken once. You can't take it more than once, and that's October of your junior year. If you take it as a sophomore, that's a practice PSAT. It doesn't count. So what do I mean by count? So I'm talking about counting towards national merit. National merit is not only an amazing accolade to have on your college application, but it's also a scholarship worth $2,500. It's also something that if you're a national merit scholar, about 50 to 100 universities across the nation will give you half tuition or even full tuition scholarships worth $100,000 to $200,000 to go to their university. So for example, USC is a good example of this. They give you an automatic half tuition scholarship, so that's $25,000 a year times 4 years, or $100,000 if you're a national merit scholar. Now, the only way you can qualify to become a national merit scholar is to score high enough on the PSAT. So how high do you need to score? Well, it depends on the cutoff for your state. So it depends on how well other students in your state do on the PSAT. So typically, California is a more competitive state, so you have a higher PSAT cutoff score than perhaps, let's say, Nevada, which is where I grew up. And so the PSAT cutoff score for California students in 2016 for juniors taking it in October will likely be somewhere around 1,400. And so that's pretty high, but you don't need to fear because you don't need to study for the PSAT if you study for the SAT. The PSAT is really just an easier version of the SAT, so if you study for the SAT, you'll essentially be over-prepared for the PSAT. Now, another thing you guys want to think about are scholarships, right? And so everyone knows, a high SAT score will qualify you to get into great colleges. But a high SAT score will also qualify you to get some scholarships. Now, the secret to winning scholarships, and I personally won $250,000 in scholarships when I was in high school. I won 20 different scholarships, and the secret that I found was to apply for local scholarships open to students in your city and state only, and that's because it really reduces the number of applicants and increases your chances of winning. So one local scholarship that I think a lot of Los Angeles students and students in Southern California should be aware of is the Ronald McDonald House Charity Scholarships. So this is each Ronald McDonald House charity gives out a few scholarships to students in their region. And there are a ton of Ronald McDonald House charities in the Southern California region. So definitely look into that as you're going to be applying to scholarships both your junior and senior year. Now, why should you take the Los Angeles SAT prep course by 2400 Expert in January? So I'm really encouraging students to take the March 2016 new SAT. That's going to be the first time the new SAT is administered, and I want everyone to prepare 6 weeks ahead of time to really get ready for that test. And so why am I saying that? The reason for that is because students who are prepared for this March 2016 SAT are going to benefit from the curve of the test. What do I mean by this? Well, most students are not going to be ready for this new version of the SAT, right? So the few students that are going to benefit from the curve of the test because most students are not going to do that well. And so it's to your huge benefit to get ready for this new version of the SAT. I remember when I was in high school, when the SAT changed to the 2400 version of the exam, the students that took that first administration really benefited. They got 2400, 2390, 2380, 2320, and that's because they were ready for that test, whereas most people were not. And so January and February is also a really good time because in spring, you're usually very busy with AP exams and finals. And so this is a really, really good time, guys, to get ready and take advantage of this first administration of the new SAT, which, by the way, the new SAT, I believe, is the easiest version of the SAT exam. It's the easiest one to prepare for. There's no more obscure vocabulary. There's 4 answer choices instead of 5. You have more time per question. You have more time where you have less questions overall. And so there's no penalty for guessing. So the list goes on and on as to why you're going to be so ready to prepare to ace this new version of the new SAT. So we hope to see you in our Beverly Hills, Los Angeles location very soon taking our courses.